Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ISO GOAT here, back again for another quick video. Let me start this by saying I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I have financial experience whatsoever. Do not invest in anything solely based off my opinions or anything that I say in this video until you've done your own due diligence and your own research first. Never throw in more money than you're willing to lose, and also make sure you have a firm understanding of crypto before throwing in any kind of money. So I just wanted to say happy 2023 to everyone. Brand new year. Wish you all nothing but health and wealth in the very near future. So let's start this year off right. So got a couple tweets first, and then I'll go into some details and some questions and concerns that were mentioned along with an article that I was sent over. First thing, shout out to T's Crypto Spot. This man knows his stuff. I always recommend you guys check out his videos. This man has a knowledge like no other. Okay, he really breaks things down from an intricate level. Just as a thought, like I said, up to you. So his tweet says, while I'm heavy on the cheaper utility projects, I agree with my fellow Quant fans on here that Quant/Overledger is going to be an absolute Godzilla. For those who haven't read it already, you may want to check this out. And it's basically the white paper. He linked it on his Twitter. You can look him up. I actually follow him too, so if you want to find him that way, cool, all power to you. He actually had a second tweet. Go figure. Interledger and Overledger and others working together for interoperability. You don't say. Once again, straight from the Quant Overledger white paper. Remember, there will be a few kings at the winner's table, not just one. Interoperability is going to be key. There's going to be some of these assets. They work together. They work hand in hand. It's not this person versus that person or this project versus that project. They all work together. It's a coordinated effort. This is a global thing. Okay. I want to check out Quant, obviously ISO 20022. Just as a caveat, check it out, look it up, look up the white paper, see what they're trying to do. Next thing, I just want to take a quote from this. This is posted on my page as well. It's just a short excerpt in regards to Hyperledger and Ripple. It is important to mention that the case for a public and decentralized blockchain might not be exactly what is desired, especially for performance and privacy reasons. For this reason, there exist private or permission blockchains. The most notorious of these promising blockchains are the ones provided by the Hyperledger Foundation and Ripple. Opposed to the public or permissionless, blockchains, the access for new participants is given by the consortium, the regulated authority, or other members already in the network. Just a short clip I wanted to take from there. I also posted on my page some clips in regards to Mr. Gensler teaching at MIT. Obviously, him working at MIT. He also has some connections with some other people, apparently, in regards to the FTX debacle. So we shall see how that all plays out. Just as a thought, so you guys can check that out. Next thing, shout out to XRP Crypto Quebec for this. Like I said, I'm just sharing the tweet, so everybody is left to interpret it how they want. Use your own discernment, do your own research in regards to it. So I'm just bringing this to the table so that way it, provokes some kind of thought, okay? Why Bitcoin and ETH will die. None are backed by precious metals or included in the ISO 20022 standard. Why Bitcoin and ETH die, whatever. Neither are backed by any precious metal or included in the ISO 20022 standard. Both are used in human trafficking, drugs, weapons, and many other nefarious activities. Worldwide shutdown of Bitcoin mining. I mean, we're starting to see this in certain states. I think New York was one that banned Bitcoin mining, if I'm not mistaken. But slow and expensive. Bitcoin uses too much electricity. This has been mentioned in prior videos ad nauseum. Both tied to Tether, which is tied to the U.S. Rothschild's dollar. Who made Ethereum? J.P. Morgan. Just some thoughts, something to think about. Like I said, use your own discernment, use your own interpretation, however you want to take that. Next thing, I just wanted to give you guys a reminder. I posted this on my page again. I posted it a while back. It basically shows the percentage of people in regards to the global population that are actually invested in crypto, and then it breaks it down to XRP. Then it's, people who own more than 25K XRP, people who own XRP period, people who've even heard of XRP. So I definitely recommend you take a look at that. It's really a microcosm of society. You're way ahead of everybody else, just as a heads up. I think a lot of people worry too much about their bags. There's a lot of people that are not in this space yet. Blockchain has not come to the forefront yet, but I think it is coming. There is a fourth industrial revolution coming and a brand new financial system. So, I think that's going to bring people, crypto to the mainstream. You'll start seeing it in advertisements. I mean, you're already seeing it now, commercials. It's coming. It's coming. They're laying the groundwork right now. It's coming. So just as a thought, next thing, shout out to Digital Asset News. Information bomb drop. Pay attention, folks. Listen to Jerome Powell closely. The switch to the new GFS is around the corner, including the USA in 2023. You just heard indirectly Ripple is a huge part of it. but how? This is a tweet. There's actually a video to go along with it. It should be posted on my page as well. If not, you can go to Digital Asset News, their page, and then you can look at it. It's a very quick video, nothing too long. Looks like it's 40 seconds. Yeah, about 40 seconds. Shout out to Caleb for this one. 2 blockchain-based protocols, Ripple XRP and Stellar Lumens XLM, are gaining popularity as the coins of choice for many international businesses. You don't say. A digital dollar will provide a missing front end to facilitate international trade robustly. We talked about this ad nauseum. I'm not even going to reiterate. Go see some of my past videos. There's other YouTubers that touch on this as well. I know DAI is one, Digital Perspectives is another, XRP Chiz. There's a lot of people out here trying to drop these nuggets of information over to you guys. Alphanem is one too. You have to check these people out. Obviously, do your own research as well on top of it. Don't rely on anything for face value, but there are people out there trying to help you and bring this knowledge to your attention. Next thing, shout out to Bullish Momentum. XRPL federated sidechains are a type of sidechain that is connected to the XRPL through a federation of trusted nodes. A sidechain is a separate blockchain that is connected to a main blockchain, in this case the XRPL, through a two-way peg. This is actually a thread. I retweeted it on my Twitter. If you guys don't follow me, definitely follow me on Twitter as well. I post some things there. There's a lot of threads on there that you might want to look through, just to, gain a little bit of knowledge. So just something as in your free time whenever you get the opportunity. Next thing, there was a post by XX_1133_12. There's a bunch more numbers. Shout out to you. So you posted this thing that shows basically the Brics nations, and this is a very powerful graphic. It's on my page. You don't have to scroll too far down, but it basically shows the Brics nations, including Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Uruguay, Argentina, and the United Arab Emirates. These are basically added members, but definitely something to keep in mind, with de-dollarization and everything going on, Brics is growing slowly but surely. I know a lot of people are sticking to their laurels in regards to, the dollar. I don't think the dollar is going to be here the way this thing is looking right now. I mean, if we fast forward through this movie we're watching right now, I don't think that the dollar is going to be the reserve currency, but that's just my opinion, like I said. And over the years, they've been printing the dollar incessantly, literally like there's no tomorrow. So a lot of other nations don't like that, so that's probably why they're trying to start a brand new financial system through Brics, just as a thought, So, I mean, we've been abusing the power, it seems like. Just a thought, like I said, obviously I'm in the United States. I'm always going to be, for the United States, however you want to look at it. But it's really, I kind of understand how other nations see this, because we are definitely taking advantage of that. And, yeah, they need to stop that. So, a more equitable system, I think, is coming. Shout out to Alphanem for this. So this is just a screenshot. I shared this on my page pretty recently, actually. IMF head foresees the end of banking and the triumph of cryptocurrency. I prefer the term digital asset personally, because there's some of these that actually have utility, and I think that they will be assets in the very near future. There are some cryptos out there too. Like I said, there's 21,000 of those, but there's not 21,000 use cases, so I don't think they will all be around in the long term. Just a thought, just my opinion. Like I said, they're still here. Some people, you want to make money. Some people go through the pumps and dumps, whatever. Hey, all power to you. Okay, I'm just focusing on utility cryptos and ones that I think that will be here 5-10 years from now. This is just my opinion. Like I said, I look into these things. Just my thoughts, okay? But always do your own research on top of that. Next thing I have for you is an article. It's from December 13, 2022. It's called A Flip of the Coin, The Future of Digital Currencies. A young lady sent this to me on YouTube. Shout out to you. And it basically talks about cross-border transactions, the importance of it, how it allows instant transactions, speed, cost-effective, security, privacy issues, things like that. So I'm not going to read everything verbatim. You can look at it. It's not very long of an article, but it's definitely some intricate details in there that you might want to harp on. So the first thing is the 3 most common varieties of cryptocurrencies, are cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, and CBDCs. Then it gives an example. It talks about China. They have their own CBDC and everything. I'm going to start right here. This is where it gets interesting. Instead of a single future currency of choice, panelist Ian DeBow, to partner with McKinsey & Company in San Francisco, suggested that different digital currencies solve different issues, which means we're likely to need a range of options in the future. Just as to step away from that, this is why I say that there's going to be multiple cryptocurrencies that will be winners in the future. There won't just be one. Like I said, obviously gains-wise, that may differ, whatever. But I think there's going to be a small handful that will actually have utility in the near future that will be utilized worldwide and globally. Okay, back to the article. He said, for example, stablecoins, by the way, I'm going to touch on that in a second, are currently the preferred digital currency to make inter-platform or cross-border payments, store value, or provide liquidity on-demand liquidity for margin loans or swaps in decentralized finance. That's because, as its name suggests, it's less volatile than cryptocurrencies, as its value is pegged to a commodity currency or a regulating algorithm, and it can engage with smart contracts. Like I said, I always tell you guys all the time, the World Bank has mentioned XRP and XLM specifically as being stablecoins in the very near future, okay? And I don't think they're going to be stable at like 50 cents. This is just my thoughts, Like I said, I could not know anything. Who knows? I'm a regular Joe Schmo. But, I do find it interesting. I do think that they will be very pivotal and important in the very near future. When it rolls out, who knows? Like I said, I'm just a regular guy too. Like, I look at these documents. I try to give them to you guys. That way you can use your own discernment. That hopefully that encourages you to look even further and dig deeper down the rabbit hole. But I do find that very interesting that they mentioned stablecoins. And also, I think Biden was working on a stablecoin legislation, if I'm not mistaken. So just as a heads up. Then the article goes into regulations and limitations. Obviously, regulations in the United States are garbaggio right now, and they have not been rolled out yet. Who knows why? They keep delaying, kicking the can down the road. That's the United States for you. So then it talks about how CBDCs may come with limitations, including how much an individual or corporation can hold. I think that's important. That's one of the, there's 3 bullet points actually, but I think it was China is where it's either you use it or you lose it, so it doesn't encourage people to save. Basically they're encouraging you to use the CBDC or it disappears after a certain time frame. And like I said, savers kind of get screwed because you can't really save. You use it or you lose it, so you kind of get the short end of the stick. But then it talks about global interoperability. I'm not going to touch too much on that. I've already harped on that as well. And then whether interest can be paid. Next portion talks about how the new tech needs to be able to communicate and talk with the old technology. This is going to be very big in bridging the old world to the new world. It's going to be a totally different world, obviously, so you have to have certain, digital assets associated with that will bridge that gap, okay? And they want this to make this as smooth of a transition as possible. So just from the article, every time you use a technology, you need to make it speak to other technologies. We need to build interoperability between digital assets and digital currencies living on blockchain as well as legacy technology, which will still exist and definitely has its place. So old technology will still be there, okay? The new technology will be integrated so that way it can bridge the gap from the old to the new. Long story short. And then the last little portion I wanted to take, here we go. So it talks about the digital currencies in Australia and how they have different needs than from like the United States or the EU. The digital currency landscape in Australia differs somewhat from Europe and the United States. Gilder said Australia's domestic direct payment system is already free for retail use, and relatively data rich, meaning there is not the same problem for CBDCs to solve as there might be elsewhere. What they can offer, however, is programmability and efficiency through automation. And then it talks about the forecast for digital currencies in the near future. There's 5 different things. Basically, money will be less lumpy. Climate change will be very important to optimize energy use. Bitcoin uses a lot of energy. This is just a thought, not trying to throw any shade at Bitcoin. The first is not always going to be the best. I mean, you can look at the telephone, you can look at the wheel, you can look at the computer, you can look at even a garage door. The first is never the best, realistically. Let's just think about it. Look back on history and think, hey, some of these technologies that we have today, are there any ones that we utilize the original version of, whether it was like 10 years ago, 20 years ago? 9 times out of 10, it's probably been, integrated with any kind of upgrades, things like that, try to fix any of the errors that it may have had in the original technology, etc. This is just my thoughts, like I said. Money will take different forms and be much more user-friendly. I think digital assets will be a part of that. Digital assets will grow and proliferate. We already see that happening. And then financial institutions can offer a superior experience in regards to payment options, so different options in regards to keeping your customers happy. Then it goes into the experts. I'm not really going to harp too much on that. And then shout out to Zach Rector. This is something that I wanted to touch on briefly. Val Hill Capital, okay? This is going to be, I think, very important in the future in regards to XRP holders. So I'm sure you guys know they have like a board and everything in regards to like a potential buyback. I'll talk about that too. So somebody asked why the Federal Reserve does not buy XRP for 35 cents. Basically, I guess they're assuming on the open market or through the escrow. So apparently, since the powers that be know the use case in regards to XRP, and they've been putting out, the SEC case, all this FUD campaign, hiring different YouTubers to, say XRP is a scam, XRP is trash, this and that. They're not allowed to do that. Apparently, that's considered fraudulent without disclosing their intent to use it. So it's called fraud in the inducement. That was the term that Jimmy Valley used. So both basically must be aware of the facts before any kind of trade or anything does take place. So I do find that kind of interesting. That was definitely a great answer from Jimmy Valley in regards to that. So shout out to Zach for that. I know that you're working on that board. Next thing, somebody else asked me about whether or not I could see XRP as an ESDR. Okay. Let me caveat this by saying, okay, obviously I don't know. This is just my opinion solely. So in regards to XRP being an ESDR, special drawing rights, are only allowed to be used by the IMF member countries or prescribed holders. Any private entities or individuals are not allowed to hold that. So now if they do the ESDR route, there would have to be, in my opinion, some kind of buyback, but I don't see a buyback happening, okay? I really think that they're not going to do that. This is just my opinions. Like I said, don't shoot the messenger, okay? And, obviously I know that Jimmy Valley and Val Hill Capital put that proposal in place so that way it does protect XRP holders. I know a lot of people harp on, oh, it's not going to be 50,000, oh, it's not going to be 37,500. He did that as a means to protect XRP holders. So for those that don't know, back in the 1930s, I believe it was, constituents, people had to turn in their gold, okay? And it was at a set price in the 1930s. Then, after they got back a certain amount of gold, the government decided, hey, we're going to change the price on gold and we're going to make it substantially higher than what you guys gave it to us for. And it basically keeps them from doing that to us. Hopefully that helps clarify that a little bit. I don't think a buyback happens. Honestly, I think a lot of people in the XRP community, just being honest, I love y'all, but some people don't know what they hold. They could pump this thing to like $50. They could pump it to like $100, whatever. Whatever the price is, whatever that set price is. I don't know what the price is, like I said, but this is just as an example. And I think that the majority of people will end up selling their bags, and maybe in their entirety. So I don't think that they would want to, hey, here you go, here's $50,000 for your XRP that you hold to every single person that owns XRP. They wouldn't have to do that. There's people that have paper hands. There's people that have diamond hands. There's people that no matter what happens, they are going to hold on to this asset because they realize the value. There's other people, hey, I'm just trying to make a quick flip. I made money on it. Cool, I'm out. As soon as you see green dollar signs, okay? So it's like, I don't think that's going to happen, and I feel like that would have to be implemented in order for XRP to be an ESDR. With that being said, now there is a possibility because XRP and XRP Ledger has a lot of different use cases, okay? You have NFTs, you have cross-border payments, you have derivatives, you have commodities and everything that you can put on top of it. You have debt. You know what the world debt is right now? It's $330 trillion plus. Imagine if they throw that debt on top of that. That price ain't gonna be $50, okay? And if you think it's $50, then you done lost your mind. That's just my opinion, like I said. But I'm just a regular Joe Schmo. So, there's a lot of different use cases. I don't think they would shoot themselves in the foot like that. Just as a thought, maybe they use a percentage as an ESDR. Maybe that could be a possibility in regards to the escrow, but who knows? Like I said, I'm just bouncing around ideas. I'm just a regular guy. I just try to use critical thinking in regards to certain aspects of this. So, like I said, I could be wrong. I could, all power to it. We're all speculators at this point. At the end of the day, we'll know once everything does roll out, but that's just my take in regards to that. So hopefully that does answer your question to the young lady that did ask me that. So thanks so much. That's all I got for y'all today. ISO Gold out. I will catch you on another one. Hey, nothing but blessings this year. Stay positive. Keep your head on straight. Don't get distracted. Stay focused on the goal and stay the path. Remain on the path, okay? Definitely appreciate it. Y'all enjoy your afternoons. And once again, Happy New Year's to you. Thanks so much.